Imagine a world where Halo Reach was played at Anaheim in the 2012 Major League Gaming Pro Circuit. I'm Gandhi alongside of DMAQ, and in this hypothetical world, we are going to run down our predictions and give you the places of where these teams actually fell. D?
That's right, Gandhi. Using the top 16 placements that everybody knows, we're going to basically break down a small bracket, a single elimination, look at the compelling matchups in each round, and then pick a winner. So, Gandhi, right away, if you looked at a round one matchup between Ambush and Apex Straight Rippin, strong side T squared Ninja on Straight Rippin. On Ambush, you have APG Heinz Cloud Formal. Who would win?
Ambush. No questions asked. You know why? The reason why is not because Ambush is the better team, although I do believe they are. The reason is because Mikwin, if there was an Anaheim event, would have left Straight Rippin' and went to Team Classic. And
yeah,
we do know Straight Sick did get dropped due to whatever reason. Some say,
but they would have picked Straight Sick up. He's a pretty good player, no?
Do you see him fitting on that team, though? I don't.
I think Straight Rippin would put up a fight, but yeah, you're right. Straight Rippin will get a round one knockout, and that's how this is going to work. Round one, you're done. No losers bracket. Other matchups that you would want to see, maybe a Carbon versus Believe the Hype. Carbon with Snipe Down, Ryanu, Blaze Assault. Believe the Hype, Twin Savior, Maniac, Reliable Clutch. Personally, I'm picking Carbon, who underachieved last tournament. They played horribly to what their potential was. I think they could have done really well, especially when Assault is winning free-for-alls. He was on fire.
Carbon did look good, and unfortunately I was unable to see Coach Ayami, a.k.a. Ghost Ayami, on the main stage. I didn't even get to catch a single Carbon match, which, as you all know, is my former team, so that was a little bit heartbreaking. But really, when you look at it, Believe the Hype was under practice as well. This team formed 2 weeks out before the event due to the status quo merging with Warriors. So Clutch, got kind of in a toss-up there, and he had to.
Maniac is a good player.
Maniac is a good player. I think this would have been a good matchup, but it depends on what Carbon we see. If there's one thing that has been the staple in the side of Carbon ever since the 2008 and on season, is the fact that they are inconsistent and any team could show up. It could be the team who comes in and takes third at the Nationals, or it can be the team who falls 9 through 16.
All right, so Carbon probably going to take this.
Yep.
Okay, let's move on to the second round. We're probably going to move on all of the top 8. I don't see any upsets happening. Anyway, moving on. Status Quo versus Carbon. Second round. How do you see that one going down? I think this is a good matchup. Quo always coming out lazy, unattentive, not looking good till late. I think Carbon could possibly pull off the upset.
You got Carbon pulling off the upset.
No, not against this Quo. Quo, that's what I'm saying. I'm setting you up because this Quo is dominant, Scotty.
This Quo is good.
Come out, lazy.
This Quo is good. Don't get me wrong. They have three young guns. They have 3 young guns who can go off at any time.
Woo!
But Carbon, with the player like Smackdown on their team, has the potential to change the entire momentum of the entire match. So you put him on a map like Sanctuary or Zealot or something where a sniper with flashy kills can shine, he's going to change the tide of the game for his team. And I think that's something that's very big that you have to hone in on. So depending on if it's the Friday status quo who kind of sleeps on everyone, or it's
this status quo sleeps. That's what I'm saying. We only got to see them one tournament, but this Quo, they don't sleep. They're always ready to game, and that's due to them having some young guns on the team now.
All right, so we'll advance status quo. But I honestly see it going to a 4, maybe a 5-game series here.
All right. But speaking of a series that did go 5 games last time, Scotty, it went to 50-49 Game 5. That's Instinct versus Classic. That's another matchup we would see. Which way do you see that one going? Instinct struggled a little bit. I thought Roy was a little bit off his game. He wasn't the regular Roy.
Yep.
Now Classic, they're upgrading in their minds, picking up Mickwin. I also think that's an upgrade. Could we see an upset?
No, and here's why. The only reason, Instinct lost that was because Roy didn't play Roy-like at all. That was probably about 75% of what we normally see from Roy board. So with that said, when he took second, and we were down at the bar on Sunday night, he gave me this look, and he was like, he just kind of shook his head, and I was like, what's up, man? You got second? Like, that's still, it's better than everyone else minus, Quo. He was like, I hate losing so much. I'm going home. As soon as I get home, I'm playing Halo. He said, I'm logging every hour of the day, regardless if it's at Anaheim or not. Now, did he follow through with that? No. If we would have got the announcement that Anaheim was there, he would still be playing. So with that said alone, a fired-up Roy, we've seen it time and time again. He has been in the running for season MVP for the past, 2-3 years now? I mean, the guy is just incredible. And so I see Instinct winning in 4.
And you know what? I agree with you. I think Roy playing well totally changes the whole series and makes them a whole different team. That's why Instinct wins, and we're going to advance to top 4. And looking at the top 4, now we have Quo versus Dynasty, Tazoxic, Destin, Lethal, Dursky, a team that surprised me very much. And then we have, on the other side, Instinct versus Ambush.
Well, which one do you want to cover first? You want to each pick one? You want to each pick one?
With Quo versus Dynasty, I think this is one of the most dangerous series for Quo. Dynasty understands how Quo plays. Dursky is a great player. Last time, this one was a very close series.
I'm not seeing it. You know why? After Quo comes back, keep in mind, they were down in the series against Instinct at the Columbus Championship. And they were able to come back and win in Game 11. So with that said alone, this team, they have solidified themselves.
They've been through some shit now.
They've been through some shit. They have a lot of character. Yeah. Everyone knows that they are defined as a top 2 team, if not the best team. So with that mindset alone, I see them 3-1-ing Dynasty and moving on. But on the flip side here, Ambush versus Instinct. Now, this one kind of touches home for me because Formal is my son. I have adopted him via Twitter. But really, I look at it like this. I see Instinct beating them, and not because of anything else besides the fact that Richie Hines I now see him cursed. Anytime you slap something on with championships, he falls short.
Yeah.
So
it is very true. What about that one time where they should have won and the power went out? It happens to them all the time.
Yep.
I think if we go to our finals, Scotty, and we see Instinct versus Status Quo, we're going to see more of the same. Or we're going to see Status Quo come back and really expose Instinct and put Instinct on their heels. Because Instinct played well, and they were playing very well, but they were on their heels the whole time.
Get out of here.
And I think we're going to see more of that, and SQ seems to be the better team at the end of Halo Reach.
All right, well, let's look at it this way, okay? With Roy playing subpar for Roy, which means he's still a top 12 player.
I understand that, but this is a team that was
them in the first series.
Together for 3 years,
they beat them
2 years.
In the series 3-2 in the winners bracket finals, okay? Yes, they slipped. The only 2 games that were a difference were King of the Hill.
Time together,
they lost 2 King of the Hills to Status Quo. That was it. That was the only thing that made a difference.
It's their first time together, Scotty.
Huh?
That's the thing. It's Quo's first time together. If they were still competing, they would have kept riding the wave. They would have gelled even further. The momentum, I really do think this series would have been just as good as the first one, and we were very deprived.
6-4 Instinct, no questions asked. Instinct would have came out. Yeah, they would have probably 3-1'd them in the winners bracket finals. Quo comes in cocky. Do you not remember the first event of Halo Reach? They looked pretty damn good, and then the second event they came in at 7th.
I want the halocouncil to raise $1,000 so we could see this matchup. Even if it's online, I want to see it on LAN, whatever. Just one more time before Reach goes out, because it would have been great.
All right, so you honestly do believe that Quo could win?
I think Quo was just beginning. It was It was about to be a force to be reckoned with. Flamesword just got good.
Okay. All right, whatever. All right, that's going to do it for episode 3. Dude, there's just no way.
MVP of the tournament, I pick Snakebite. Your pick?
Roy. He would have came out and dominated everyone. No questions asked.
All right.
All right, well, that's going to do it here for episode 3. Thank you guys for subscribing. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't do this, so we appreciate it. Love you all.